Imagine this. It's grand final day, 2006. The Broncos are down by 2. There's 90 seconds left on the clock. Lockyer has been concussed so badly 10 minutes earlier that he can barely stand up straight. And yet there he is, lining up a sideline conversion that every single person in that stadium knows has to go over. The kick sails through, and 38,000 people lose their minds because Darren Lockyer just did what Darren Lockyer always did. He won the bloody game when it was impossible. Now fast forward 19 years. Yesterday afternoon, on a wet stretch of the Bruce Highway north of Gympie, that same Darren Lockyer, 48 years old, father of 3, the quietest superstar this country ever produced, lost control of his oot on the way home from a weekend with his family. The car rolled. His neck took the full force. And just like that, in the space of one heartbeat, the greatest Queenslander to ever wear maroon is gone. G'day, legends. Welcome back to Unpopular Aussie Opinions. I'm your host, and right now I'm sitting here staring at a blank wall trying to work out how to say goodbye to a man who felt immortal. Queensland police confirmed it about 4 o'clock this morning. Single vehicle rollover, no other cars involved, wet road, peak hour traffic. Lockyer was heading south after a couple of quiet days in Noosa. Witnesses said the ute just aquaplaned, hit the barrier, flipped 3 or 4 times and came to rest on its roof. Paramedics worked on him for nearly an hour on the side of the highway. The air ambulance got him to Royal Brisbane in 25 minutes, but the spinal cord injury was complete. He never regained consciousness. Darren James Lockyer was pronounced dead at 12:07 this morning. He was 48. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I was his best mate. I never shared a beer with him, never shook his hand. But like every kid who grew up in this state in the 90s and noughties, I felt like I knew him. Because Darren Lockyer wasn't loud. He didn't need to be. He let his footy do the talking, and his footy spoke louder than any spray ever could. Let me take you back so the younger ones understand why this hurts so much. 1995, round 1. 18-year-old kid from Roma runs out at fullback for the Broncos against the Sharks. Looks about 12. Scores a try, sets up 2 others, and by full time the entire league is asking the same question. Who the hell is this bloke? Fast forward 16 years and he walks off ANZ Stadium after game 355, having rewritten every record that matters. Only player ever to play 100 games at fullback and 100 at 5/8 in first grade. Most points in Origin history. Captain Queenslander, 8 series wins. Captain the Kangaroos on the 2008 tour. The last proper tour we ever had. 2 premierships, 4 grand finals, a golden boot, 5 Dally M 5/8 medals, a Clive Churchill medal while barely conscious. And he did it all with that same calm half smile like he was just happy to be there. People forget how good he actually was because he made the impossible look routine. The flick passes, the show and goes from first receiver, the 40-metre cutout balls on the 5th tackle when the game's on the line, and the clutch moments, my God, the clutch moments. The chip and chase try in Origin 2004 when New South Wales thought they had it won. The field goal in the 2010 preliminary final to send Brisbane to the grand final. That sideline kick in 2006 I already mentioned. Every time Queensland or Brisbane needed a miracle, number 6 just quietly provided one. And the thing that separates Lockyer from every other legend is that nobody ever had a bad word to say about him. Not opposition players, not referees, not journalists, not even New South Wales fans, and that's saying something. He was the ultimate professional who somehow stayed completely grounded. Lived on the north side of Brisbane, drove a ute, went fishing with his old man, coached his kids' teams. The bloke commentated on Friday nights and then went home and mowed his own lawn on Saturday morning. In a sport full of egos, Darren Lockyer had none. I've seen the tributes rolling in all morning. Joey Johns said he was the best player he ever played with or against. Gordon Tallis cried on live television, couldn't even get the words out. Wayne Bennett just said, "We've lost the greatest Bronco there ever was," and you could hear his voice crack. The Maroons have put the black armbands back on. Suncorp Stadium's already a sea of flowers and jerseys. Channel 9 cut straight to black after the news broke and just played 30 minutes of Lockyer highlights with no commentary, because sometimes silence says more than words ever could. And here's the unpopular opinion you're probably waiting for, because this is Unpopular Aussie Opinions after all. Darren Lockyer dying at 48 in a car accident is the most Queenslander thing that has ever happened. We lose our heroes too young, too suddenly, too unfairly. Arthur Beetson heart attack at 50-something. Tommy Rhodonicus cancer. Now Lockie on a wet road doing 60 clicks an hour in a ute. It's cruel, it's random, and it reminds every single one of us that no matter how many grand finals you win, the highway doesn't care. I don't have any clever wrap-up today. No hot take, no controversy, no clickbait, just a simple truth. Queensland footy will never feel quite the same again. Every time we watch a Broncos game, every time State of Origin rolls around, there'll be this gap where number 6 should be, and it's going to hurt for a long time. Rest in peace, Darren James Lockyer. Thank you for every impossible moment you gave us. Queenslanders don't say goodbye easily, so I'll just say what we always said when you lined up one of those sideline kicks. Back yourself, mate. See you next time, legends. Whenever I can bring myself to record again.